G'day guys, Seeney here and welcome to another episode on the Australian Wealth channel. And today we're going to be talking about some of the biggest money myths that are holding people back. So thanks so much for watching guys. Please make sure you like and subscribe. Really helps to get these videos out to more people. So we are going to be talking about some of the biggest money myths that hold people back. There's a lot of things that are told to kids from their families as they grow up, and they kind of internalize it, which may not actually be true. I mean, the information that you want to be receiving from folks is the information that you get from people that have actually done what you want to do or are in a position that you want to be in. Now, most people are average by definition. So when it comes to financial information, it might not be the best to actually take that information from a family member unless they're incredibly wealthy. Of course, you shouldn't listen to any idiot on the internet either, but hey, here we are. So I just want to share some of the money myths that I've realized over time when I've been improving my financial situation, some of the things I've learned, and hopefully this information will be able to help you in one way or another and you'll be able to utilize it. So the first one, and I think this is the most important one, is that all debt is bad. Now, this is certainly not the case, but this was definitely the approach that my parents took when they were growing up. Now, they had the view that all debt was bad because, you know, you just take out debt to go and spend on things, even like loans on houses and things like that. Basically, avoid being indebted to a bank or anyone. Now, the thing is, this is not always the case. Now, don't get me wrong. Consumer debt is probably the worst thing that you can do for your financial situation. If you have heaps of credit card debt or you're spending too much on credit cards and just making those interest payments, you're losing so much extra money. Like, it's crazy. So that debt is actually really bad. Now, this is one of the things that my parents were absolutely dead set against, was absolutely not taking on any debt at all. And you know what? In some ways, this is quite a good thing. But the thing is, if you're using other people's money effectively and as an effective tool, it can generate you substantial returns compared to not using it. Just think about investment properties, for example. Let's say that you're saving up all the money to go and buy a property instead of using a 10% down payment and then using the bank's money. It's going to take you so much longer to actually purchase a property and get the returns on that property. And meanwhile, the market has gone up dramatically. So you're using other people's money, using debt to make yourself get wealthier. You know, even knowing that my parents are dead set against debt, one of the things that they've said all the time is that, geez, if I knew that houses were going to go up this much in the last 20 years, we would have got a couple of them. And of course, hindsight is 20/20. But as we've seen over the last 20, 30, 40 years, is that the property prices in Australia have continued to climb and climb. And there is no doubt that over the long term, this is going to happen. You know, as Australia becomes even more prosperous and even more affluent, property prices are going to continue to rise. It's not always going to be straight up. It's not always going to be straight down. But as we've seen from the trend, that is where it is going. So banks can actually be a really good financial partner on your journey to financial freedom and financial success. So you need to be very careful about what type of debt you're using. Do not use debt that you're just spending on things that aren't making you money. You want productive debt. Debt that you take on which is making you more money in return. The second money myth is that success is all down to luck. Now, this is complete garbage. Building wealth, just like pretty much anything else, is a skill that you can learn. Now, of course, not everyone starts from the same place. Now, that is clearly obvious. You know, there's such an advantage to being born in a Western country and having a great family, things like that. But the thing is, the tools to generate wealth and build wealth are everywhere, thanks to the internet. It's been an incredible invention for leveling the playing field for everyone. So success is not luck at all. You know, for example, in my business, I've worked incredibly hard to build it up to a place where it is now. You know, it's basically 24/7, I'm thinking about ways that I can improve my business. Now, of course, if I'm only spending a few hours on it a day, then I'm not going to see the growth that I would be hoping for. But you see, like anything else, it's a skill, something you practice over time and finding a niche in the market, things that people really want. And it might take you a few goes to get this, but the more times that you you try, the more luckier you're going to get. It's really that simple. So anyone that puts down success to luck is clearly someone that hasn't generated success in their own life. It's really that obvious. Those kind of people just don't know what it takes, unfortunately, and hopefully, they can learn. All right, number 3, one of the biggest money myths that I'm going to talk about now is that saving is the way to retirement. Unfortunately, this is not true, especially now. If you talk to maybe your parents or your grandparents, they might talk about interest rates where you'd be getting a return from the bank of like 10, 12% when you deposit money. Well, unfortunately, those days are long gone, and it's very unlikely that they are going to return anytime soon. So if we look at the saving rates of banks now, they're absolutely a joke. You are pretty much getting no money back for the money that you deposit into a bank. It's just basically a place now where you can hold your money. You're getting so little return, even on term deposits, because interest rates have been whittled away so much. So it's one thing you can whinge and complain about it, say it's not fair. It's not fair that the government did this, not fair that the Reserve Bank did this, but the best thing that you can do is actually take advantage of the opportunities that this brings up. So this is looking at things like index funds, investing in the stock market, which will generate a 7 to 9 to 10% return on average every single year. Investing in investment properties that are cash flowing and put money into your pocket every week while you can enjoy the capital growth of that particular property. Saving is going to be an absolute killer for people in the future, even more, because as we've printed so much money and there's so much more debt in the system, that means that inflation is going to be running a lot hotter over the next few years. So in the past, we've seen inflation under 2%. It would not surprise me if we see inflation that's around 3%. And what that means is that the purchasing power of your money is going down every single year. So if you think about saving money, you put it in the bank and you're getting, say, a 1% interest rate, but inflation is 2 to 3%, you are literally losing money by holding it there. Every single year, your purchasing power is going down. Saving is definitely not the way to retirement. In fact, in this day and age, it's actually working against you. The best thing that you can be doing is investing your money and getting it to grow into larger sums that way. Now, the next money myth I want to talk about is number 4, and that is that most millionaires inherited their money. This is so obviously not true. All you need to do is just look at the data. So 80% of millionaires in this world are self-made. That means that they started from basically the ground up and they did not inherit their money. 80%, that's 4 out of 5 millionaires started from basically nothing. So these first generation millionaires are the kinds of people that worked in a really high paying job, they invested really smart, they started a business, all of these kind of things to generate more income for themselves and to reach that millionaire status. And of course, they obviously didn't go out and spend their money on massive wastes of money. They're a bit more frugal, which means that they could save a bit more, and as a result, their net worth continued to grow. So if we look at like even the richest in the world, so Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, all of these guys, the one thing that they had in common was that they started a business. Now, people often talk about, Jeff Bezos' parents, they gave him like a $200,000 loan. Okay, well, but a lot of people can go and get a $200,000 loan. It's not that massive amount of money. And to grow that into a company, which is one of the wealthiest companies in the entire world in terms of market cap, is a remarkable achievement. So to see people try and diminish that success is just ridiculous and discount all of the hard work that goes into actually creating a company that large. And it's very much the case with also Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. There is so much work and energy that's gone into building these giant businesses, and they've all just come from basically the ground level. Okay, now number 5, and I think this is one of the biggest money myths out of all of them, and that is that money can't buy happiness. This is complete garbage, and it's been studied using massive sample sizes. In fact, a study in the US surveyed over 1 million households and saw that up to about $80,000 per year in income saw an increase in happiness. And this is so obviously self-evident. If you're making $15,000 a year and you're really struggling to pay your bills and you've got all these overdue ones coming in, you've got heaps of credit card debt and you're not sure what to do, that's going to take such such a mental toll on you. You're not going to be able to function at a proper level, and you're going to be so unhappy about your situation. Now, this is not to say that all rich people are super happy, because they're definitely not, because there's more factors at play than just money. But according to this study, we can see that happiness actually increases with the more money that you earn. Now, this was up to about $80,000, and an even more recent study found that your happiness will increase just slightly if you make a little bit more than that. So basically, once you get to about $80,000, that's about as happy as you're going to get. You might see a little bit more of a bump if you earn a little bit more, but if you're earning $30,000 or $40,000, if you're making double the money, you're probably going to be happier. What people need to realize is that it's not directly the money that is making you happier, but it is in fact the freedom of choice that money gives you. So you have a fair bit of spare money and your family member's going through something really tough. It gives you the ability to be a lot more generous and help that, which gives you good feelings, and it helps to get them in a much better space. So that is definitely one example of how money can buy happiness. So I'd love to hear what you guys think about these money myths, and whether you think there's any more money myths that are out there which people are really taking on internally, which are holding them back. I'd be really keen to hear what you guys think. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like and subscribe to the channel. Get these videos out to more people, guys. It'd be much appreciated, and I can continue to share this content, and hope you guys are enjoying it. Please leave me a comment. I want to hear from you guys. We've got a lot more subscribers, and I want to know your names. I want to hear about you guys. So please, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you later.